Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm your host, Amanda Lamb. Imagine booking a hotel for the weekend and showing up at the address only to learn it's not a hotel at all, but a law firm. Or you make a hair appointment and pay a deposit online, only to learn that the person who took your money isn't affiliated with the hair salon. These are just a few examples of online scams that are burning both customers and businesses. In this episode, WRAL 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur is joining me to talk about how these scams work and how you can protect yourself. Keely, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So first, tell me about this one scam. I mean, it's fascinating. They advertised that there was this hotel, which was a non-existent hotel in Raleigh, and the address was a law firm. Like, how did this even work?
Yeah. So basically, I guess the way to explain it is people were looking for a place to stay. So they would go to like hotels.com or, any of the websites we all go to when we're looking at a place to stay overnight somewhere when we're traveling. And there was a listing for North Carolina Hotel Motel, and it was fairly cheap. It was like $54. So people would book it and pay for it, via credit card, go to the listed address, show up, and it was a law firm in Raleigh. And it got so bad that the law firm had to put out a sign that basically is on their front door that says, "This is not a hotel, this is a law firm." And people would show up. A lot of these people were people who were experiencing homelessness, so they were looking for a place to stay and spending, only the little money they had left. And the woman who would intercept them is a woman named Vaughn Weston. Great interview, paralegal, and she would be like, "This is not a hotel," and try to kind of explain to them. And she said a lot of times people couldn't compute it because they had gone on hotels.com, a site that you would think is relatively
reputable,
trustworthy.
Sure.
And then, be totally duped.
And that had to be really hard for her because I'm sure she's feeling some compassion and empathy for these people who've just been scammed, especially if they have nowhere else to go. I mean, it's a crazy situation.
Yeah, and it's not an area that it's not like downtown Raleigh. It wasn't a place where you could just go find another hotel. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, kind of out there. And so, she would try to help direct these people on where to go. But it became a very rampant issue. That's why she reached out to 5 on Your Side to kind of get the word out to people that, look, this is happening and don't fall for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what that had to be like. And is it still going on or has it gotten a little bit better?
The sites finally took down the postings, but not before. I mean, I think at least a dozen, if not a few dozen, fell for this.
Wow, that's incredible. So we are going to talk more about that and the other one we mentioned, the other scam we mentioned involving the hair salon after the break. Welcome back to the WRAL Daily Download. Okay, so tell me some of the locations where these fake postings are. I mean, they even have fake reviews, which is amazing. And what are these sites, what are they doing about it?
So this, what's happening is it's a very smart scam because these scammers are hiding behind businesses that are reputable, like Travelocity, Hotels.com, actual business hair salons. So what they do is they pretend to be this business that really does exist, and then they lure a customer into a false sense of security and take the money up front that way. But as I mentioned, it was a hair salon, and then it was a fake hotel, but posted on reputable sites, Hotels.com, Expedia, Travelocity.
Don't they vet them, or we don't know? We don't know what the background is at this point.
I am in the process of trying to get pretty close to posting a fake one to see how easy it is. But I've gone down the process pretty far. I'm like 90% approved. And I took photos from a bed and breakfast that I'd been in Maine and posted them as a fake place in North Carolina.
To see what happens.
Just to see what happens. And right now it's still pending. It's being reviewed. But, I mean, case in point, this has happened. Scammers have been able to game the system and get on there. And I think there needs to be more vetting. But the way that these businesses, Hotels.com, Travelocity, work is they take 10 to 30% of every booking. So it's very advantageous for them to have as many hotels, motels post with them.
Well, you'll have to circle back with us when we find out how that went. So you investigated, we mentioned this other situation where people were booking hair appointments, paying in advance, and then they found out, oh, this isn't even affiliated with the actual hair salon.
Yeah. So slightly different than the hotel because the hotel was fake and it was really a law firm. This was really a hair salon, same name, same everything. But they would post and say, hey, like, we want, we're going to charge you $200 for hair extensions. Give us the money up front or give us a down payment. People would pay that, show up for their appointment at the actual physical location. And the business had no record of any payment or anything. And they found out that a scammer was doing this behind their back. The issue is law enforcement agencies don't really have a lot of recourse for both businesses, the law firm and the hair salon in this case, because nobody was taking money from the hair salon or the law firm. They were taking money from the individuals. So when the business owner of the hair salon called the police, they said, look, we can't help you because nobody's taking your money.
Right. So even though it's damaging the reputation, clearly, of their business, when they have people show up and say, hey, you took my money, and they say, no, we didn't, there's nothing that can be done. So according to your reporting, the Federal Trade Commission says scammers that impersonate businesses are netting about $8.8 billion a year. I mean, that's a lot of money. And at this point, it doesn't sound like the businesses have a lot of recourse.
They really don't. And that's the issue with a lot of these crimes. I mean, when you think about kind of traditional crimes, there are laws on the books for, like, I'm sure stealing horses. I mean, things that are like not
littering. Yeah.
Yeah. Things that are issues, but maybe things that are issues maybe of a different time. But with cybercrime, and you just think of technology moves so much faster. These scammers move so much faster than lawmakers can keep up with. So there's
still
not
very new. Yeah. This is new stuff.
And police stations, I think you'll find, are really equipped with responding and handling traditional crimes, break-ins, assaults, things like that. But with cybercrime, you can call 911, but it's much harder to track down these people. There's not physical, evidence in a traditional way. So it's very tricky, and the way to stop it is to be a smart consumer. To
be very vigilant. Yeah, that was my next question. I mean, what should consumers be doing to protect themselves? Can they protect themselves?
You can. I mean, one of the people that had booked the hotel room, told Vaughn, the paralegal, when she made it to the law firm and realized what had happened. She said, "Oh, I felt like something was off." So really trust your gut and follow that. Call the physical number. Google the hotel on a separate site. Try to find the hotel's website. Try to find the hair salon's physical address and their actual phone number. Call them. Do a lot of cross-referencing. If something feels off, it probably means there's something actually off.
Yeah, and definitely check it out. Well, that is some great information. Sorry that happened to those people, but hopefully you've created some really important awareness about it. So thank you, Keely, for being on the program. This has been the WRAL Daily Download, a production of WRAL News. Check out my new true crime podcast from WRAL Studios, The Killing Month, August 1978, a brand new show which details the investigation into the serial murders carried out by a band of outlaw brothers in Pennsylvania. Episodes 1 and 2 are available now. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts.